All right. So I think one way to develop a critical thinking is to be able to play devil's advocate to your own good ideas, so to speak. By that I mean you can argue both sides of an issue. It always seemed to me the most effective debaters, when I've listened to them talk, they understand their opponent's point of view better than they understand it, in addition to understanding their own point of view. So rather than just having our minds swayed to one side and the inability to think of the other side of an issue, it's good to exercise both sides. And so I was thinking that with regard to the topic of prayer. Now, I've heard said that prayer is the most powerful tool that we have in our toolkit for the shaping, the molding of our own reality. Now, I will tell you, full disclosure, that I believe that heart, mind, soul, and spirit. But I'm going to take the angle of somebody. Well, here's the angle of the other side. Do you mean to tell me that the thinking that's going on inside of your bony cranium is actually going to change reality? That's hilarious. It's bemusing. In other words, I want a new car really bad. So my gray matter is going to, those molecules are going to bounce around and think about or pray for or ask some sky friend for a new car, and then I'll get a new car. It's like you could see why there's a cottage industry of atheists who make fun of spiritual people. It's not hard to understand that. So given that we can see the other side of the issue, it's preposterous to think that the thoughts that are going through our heads are, are actually going to change anything. So this prayer stuff is really just, we're really convinced ourselves of a delusion. Okay, well, then we have to ask, how is it that prayer works? Why is prayer actually the most powerful tool that we have? And the answer to that is what prayer does is it shapes and molds our own consciousness. In other words, anytime that we're praying, consider that every time that you pray to some degree, even if it's only a very small degree, you're shaping and molding your own consciousness, the way that you think, your mentality, your state of mind. Now, in the spiritual game, the axiom says, and we've discussed this many times, that whatever our state of consciousness is, it results in the conditions that we surround ourselves in. So in other words, by changing our state of mind, we change our reality. I think we've all heard the great comment by a German physicist, Max Planck, who said, when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. So here's why prayer is so incredibly powerful. And this is something we can learn today and strengthen inside of our mind. When we're actively praying, we're shaping and molding our own mind so that the things that we most love and that we hold most dear, the things that are true, then fit inside of our reality. Our mind is no longer resistant to what it is that we say that we love or that we want. Now, I would ask you, would you agree with me that other people shaped our consciousness growing up? In other words, when we had brand new minds that were very fresh, new, very impressionable, that we we were subject to certain impressions that perhaps weren't the best for us. So if other people shaped our minds growing up and the shape of our minds determined our reality, wouldn't it make sense from this point forward to begin to participate in the shaping of our own mind? If we do want prosperity, shouldn't we build up a prosperity consciousness? If we want intimacy and love, shouldn't we build up a state of mind that accommodates that? If we want meaning and purpose and joy, shouldn't we build up a state of mind that draws that in? This is the great power of prayer. So every time that we pray, every time we actively shape our mind into the thing that we're aiming at, the thing that we love, prayer is the aiming of our mind, then that thing that desired thing will flow easily and naturally into our life. It won't be a struggle. So, in essence, without a shadow of a doubt, prayer is the most powerful thing the most powerful tool we have in our toolkit. And it's important to understand why. It's not just mushy thoughts going inside of our cranium. It's our free-willed capacity to shape our consciousness so that the reality that we wish to see naturally and spontaneously appears in our experience. So, food for thought. We're going to work on the topic of the power of prayer all week long. Looney and I wish you a beautiful day and pray wisely.